through the moment that I saw you, it felt older than time, like my heart knew your rhythm before you were mine. I've been searching through the echoes of a life I can't see, but every road I travel somehow led me to me. When your eyes met my spirit, I felt something unlock, like heaven hit pause and the universe stopped. I ain't gotta explain it, the truth's in the name. Two soulmates, one mirror vibing in the same flame. Let's go to the crystal shop, we can get some supplies. I wanna hold your hand and shout while I look in your eyes. Let's talk about conspiracies and the mysteries until we realize you're my twin flame in disguise. Let's go to the crystal shop, we can get some supplies. I wanna hold your hand and shout while I look in your eyes. Let's talk about conspiracies and the mysteries. It should be no surprise, we're just twin flames in disguise. It's the way your laughter heals places I hide, like you know all my scars but still stand by my side. I feel you in silence even when we don't speak. Your look alone makes me feel weak. They say love takes time, but this came full grown, like we loved in another life. Now we're finally home. I don't wanna rush it, but I can't deny when you touch my hand, it feels like fate, I can't lie. Let's go, yeah, we can get some supplies. I wanna hold you while I look in your eyes. Let's talk about conspiracies and the mystery until we realize you're my twin flame in disguise. Let's go get the supply, we can get some supplies. Oh, while I look in your eyes. Let's talk about conspiracies and the mystery. It should be no surprise, we're just twin flames in disguise. Loving you is destiny, then I surrender my will. Cause every fear I was holding just suddenly got still. I see forever reflected when you look at me slow, like the past and the future finally letting me go. We ain't learning love, we remembering truth. Two halves of a promise we made back in youth. So tonight let it start, let the whole world see. Twin flames ignited into what love should be. Let's go inside, we can get some supplies. While I look in your eyes. Let's talk about conspiracies and the mystery until we realize.
All right.
Hey.
All right. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. Let's go to the crystal shop. We can get some supplies.
We can get it.
You know what I mean? That's the perfect spiritual conscious first date. That's kind of what I want to put into that song. Thank y'all for the support. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Peace and blessings. Peace and love. I don't even have to introduce these two. Y'all know who they are, right? The true twin flames.
I show you.
You know, something that is very rare in our community, where you see the husband and wife together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My friends, my brother and my sister, brother D-Ray. I mean, brother Dreamwise and sister D-Ray. You know what I mean? I apologize for the mix-up. Brother Dreamwise and sister D-Ray.
We androgynous.
Right.
Androgynous beings, huh?
The power couple, you know, and I always tell them that, you know, I'm grateful for them both being out here because they represent something that you don't see a lot in the conscious community. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, and there's a lot of people married like myself, but we usually keep our wife behind, or it may be a conscious sister that keep her husband in the background for different reasons. But these two are out in the front. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And shout out to you, Brother Joseph and Michelle, for doing it longer than us, a lot longer, but holding it down as a spiritual couple to, you know, show an example and lead by example in a particular new world that we're in. So yeah, I'm excited about this build. Yeah, excited.
Yeah. We're gonna build today, family. But before we start, let me add this to the stage. This is gonna be our new up-and-coming events that we're gonna be doing on February 14th. All right, it's gonna be dope. The New Love Life events, the conversation, the connection, and the chemistry. All right, I'm believing that you're gonna meet your twin flame out here. Come on now. All right. We're already putting the music out there to kind of get it going. This is where you can most likely, and I'm believing you will meet your twin flame.
Speaking about first dates,
then y'all can go to the crystal shop and get some supplies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm believing that. You know what I'm saying? Come on out February 14th, we want to have a good time. We're going to do a panel. We're going to be giving y'all some advice, not from people who just got together, from people who've been together, from people who got families, they got children. You know, that's doing it. That can answer the questions for you. How do you make it work? You know what I'm saying? What's the secret? What's the magic? How do you make it work? Come on out and find that. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have food. We're going to have a good time. February 14th, family. February 14th. Singles, we have a link for you. The link is below. Couples is $100. Come on out. Singles, I think, is $70. Come on out. We're going to have a good time, family. It's going to be one that you don't want to miss, all right? If you're looking for that, to find that one, if you're looking to get some information on how you can prepare yourself for the one, we can do that, family. We can do that, all right? Come on out.
Absolutely. And I want to say this also. We got something special for the family. For the people that do purchase a ticket before February, you're not only going to get a ticket to the event, but you're also going to get the recording. This is before February 1st. And also you're going to get an instant download video on love and connection from yours truly, Brother Yosef, Dreamwise, and D-Ray Wise. So, hey, you don't want to miss this party because this is one of those that's going to be epic. Speaking of first dates, man, one of the first things D-Ray and I did, because we was heavy into our spiritual work as a couple, and essentially what happened was, you know what I'm saying, we was into the tantric sex thing. So one of the first places I took D-Ray to was the sex shop.
Okay. Okay.
And
Boy, why you on here? Why? Yo, so you know we playing.
hey, I'll just tell y'all what it is, baby. So you
now,
know,
we did go to the bookstore and get a book that talked about it.
Man, we got that book. That was a powerful book too. What book was that, babe? You remember? Dang, what book was that?
I definitely do not remember what that was, but that is a fire first date, though. If you can't get to the crystal shop, go to a bookstore. Go see what are y'all interests. You know what I mean? That's a great date.
Oh, you know what it was like man, it's on the tip of my tongue. This Taoist tantric sex book. And it was important for us to have an establishment because we was getting out of the lustful sex and into love. So, you know, the lust thing always kind of rules people's energies. With the love thing, now we're moving in love. It's a different dynamic, and you want to honor that and appreciate it, especially with a mate or your soulmate or your twin flame.
Right. I agree with that, brother. I agree with that. And that's something that people need to understand. You know, one of my famous videos that got me popular early on YouTube was I did a video called the 3 Gateways of Love. And then I did another video talk about what is true love and what is false love. And true love lasts, y'all. If you were really in love and it's true love, it's going to last.
Right.
It's going to last.
Right.
And earth love or false love is, you know, people stick around after they've been entertained. Let's just say good sex, good food, a good hangout partner. But after 2 or 3 years, you can't stand this person no more. Kind of don't want to be around them. So cosmic love. And that's why I would say most people don't experience true love till they have their first child. You know, that's when they understand, oh, I love this person. This person ain't doing nothing for me right now, but I'm going to give this entity, this person, all this, whatever it needs, whatever it wants. You know, when you feel the same way about your partner and you're in that point, that's when you know you're in love. You know what I mean? Still hard to describe love. You know what I mean?
No, that's fire, Yosef. That's fire. And self-love comes down to disciplining them 3 desires that you said. Desire for sex, desire to express your opinion, and desire for food. You know, those are the 3 ultimate desires that keep people entranced in the human or in this lustful state. And if you can't control them urges, then essentially what happens is you never really get to know yourself.
Right.
Because we actually came down here to discipline ourselves to understand something new and to, you know, gain some ground. I heard you say something, Yosef, that was real profound. You said, or you talked about in the past, hey, if you don't find this love in this particular lifetime, you got to come back and be reincarnated back into earth to find or express this thing we call love, because essentially you came down here to study that and learn that. Can you expound on that, Joseph?
Yeah, absolutely. We all come down here for various reasons, but one thing we forget that we come down here for, not just to do our job. It sounds crazy, we come down here to enjoy life as well.
Yes.
I think most spiritual people miss that part. I know, because some people be so spiritually high, they know awfully good. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to enjoy life as well. You got to travel. You got to fall in love. You got to find the good things about life. I know we consider it a prison planet and things like that, but life is meant to be enjoyed. You are born with wealth. It is your God-given right to be wealthy, to be happy, and all these things. But along the way, we make mistakes. We learn how to work with money. We learn how to be in our families, and we learn how to be in love with somebody. You know what I mean? These are qualities that we have to learn. And some of us, you ever see that person, like, no matter what they do, money just falls out the sky for them. That's because they mastered money in the past life. You know what I mean? Some families just look perfect. The family got it together. Ain't no argument, no issues. That's because that family has mastered these things in past life. And then you got those couples that's been together. No matter what you do, that couple stay together. They've been together forever till the day they passed away. And those are people who've mastered relationships in the past life. You know what I mean? They've mastered being together. They mastered learning each other. You know what I'm saying? Because they know the first thing is the perfect relationship. You know what I mean? I believe in that 80-20. 80-20 is real because ain't nobody perfect. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nobody's perfect, family. So yeah, you come back over and over again with your soulmate, and you do have a negative soulmate. That the negative soulmate teaches you lessons. They're gonna hurt you the most. But some of us keep running back to that same person.
Yeah.
And that person is not there to for you to fall in love with. Y'all not supposed to work it out if this gets so bad. And y'all got to call the police on this person. You got a person putting their hands on you. Person, this gets so bad. Person think, oh, we gonna work it out. We gonna know. You supposed to work it out with that person. You learn your lesson. See the red flags. The person you supposed to be with, sometimes you don't even see them right away, and you gotta give people a chance sometimes, and then you will notice, oh, wait a minute, this might be the one, and you'll know there's qualities about a person. I think we pay too much attention to just looks. Looks is important. Don't get me wrong now. You gotta be attracted to the person. But a lot of us is all fall victim to that. It's more than looks. It's also personality. It's what do that person
chemistry, all
chemistry.
of that.
What do they believe in? Some people want to fight the power. You might meet as a young man. You might meet a lady that want to fight the power. She want to help the world. She want to save the animals. You know what I mean? Whatever. And you got to find out this is what you down with her program. Or is she down with your program? So y'all can link. You know what I mean? So yeah, we all come back to figure this thing out.
Yeah, it's interesting, Joseph, and that's powerful because essentially, we get caught up in this thing called hypnotic rhythm of being single. So a lot of us is placed into this matrix or into the school system and religion into the aspect of being perfect.
Yes.
Because, at school, they taught you, oh, you got to learn these facts, these things they call facts, and make an A in order to get rewarded. So then that subconsciously trains you to believe that Mr. Perfect is out there or Miss Perfect is out there. And now you're constantly searching and trying to receive Miss Perfect or Mr. Perfect. But the real game is somebody's going to be perfect for you. And it's not based off of looks. It's not based off of, what they particularly come with at the time, right? Because the honest to God truth is you might meet a Christian and they might be at a stage in their life where they need you to push them over the edge. You know what I mean? That's a very important aspect of this thing. Can you speak on that also, or both of y'all can speak on that, like meeting people where they are? Because essentially everybody's not going to be at a spiritual level that kind of speaks to, oh, this person is not as high as me, so I can't get down with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to go, sis? You want me to go?
So when it comes down to meeting people where they are, I think a lot of times we have to know where we are. If we're able to see ourselves, we're able to see somebody else. And so everybody is always a reflection. And so when Dream and I got together, We were both in our meditation. And look, I was in my meditation because I was coming out of some sort of like identity crisis or something. I had just graduated from college. I didn't know what I was going to be doing. And I was looking for answers, and I was led to meditation. And through that process, him and I reconnected, and I was like, oh, okay, we might can find something here. We have some similarities. So I think meeting people where they are is first and foremost about understanding where you are and how you can connect with them based off of where you are. You know, I think a lot of times people don't really know where they at, which we hear this a lot of times with men. They'll say like, it's not about the woman, it's about the space and the place the man is at when he decides that he wants to commit. Right? So I think that's real. Knowing where you are is going to make a difference in how you are able to show up and support somebody else. What's your thoughts on that? Go ahead.
I know you and Nichelle Yosef met together as Christians, and then you veered off into another path, a profound path, the path that leads you to Brother Yosef today. And Nichelle had to trust and believe in you. You could go ahead and speak on that, Yosef, because I know you
absolutely
lived it. Yeah, you lived that particular energy.
I did, man. I did. And I've been through the ups and downs of that. This goes into a question that somebody else was asking. Do you have to have it all together as a man before you date, or does it depends? And I see that other little question there. The left-hand path is the path to me, Brother Yosef. well, more power to you. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't against that. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. But yeah, you know, and let me kind of answer the first question first and kind of goes into it. You know, when I met my wife, I didn't have it all together. I just didn't. I was young, you know, and when you were I got married at 26. My wife was 23. I thought I knew, you know what I'm saying, what I had to do. And what I thought I had to do was be a good Christian and work every day. And life is figured out after that, you know what I'm saying? And I was far off, you know what I mean? The truth is I was still finding myself, you know what I'm saying? I was still finding myself. And I never forget one of my teachers told me, he said, Yosef, you know, in Egypt, you don't become a real man until you're about 40. I was like, what? You know, I'm thinking I'm already, you know what I'm saying? They don't even let you join the priest or nothing like that till you're 40 years old. So you're not even considered to even have your mind together until you're 40 in Egypt back in those days. And that blew my mind, you know. Here I am thinking I know stuff and I'm still got a long way to go. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, no, I didn't have it all together. I wasn't financially where I was, but this was the most important part. Love. You know, I used to always promise my wife, and she saw me stick to those promises. This is what the man need to understand. You know, if you don't have it all together, but you have vision and you have drive, and your wife sees that, or your girlfriend sees that, that's what's going to make her have faith in what you're doing. You know, some of us just be talking, oh yeah, I got this coming, I want to do this, and then a whole year don't pass, you didn't do none of it.
Right.
You know, I jump on people's case about that all the time. Whole year don't pass, you didn't jump on nothing you said. And then it's cool because your lady see that, brother. She see you just, you know, Dad, I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna cool. 2024 passed, you didn't do it. 2025 passed, she's still talking. 2026, she you know, but she love you. She love you and she believing in you. But you got to give her something to work with, brother. So it is okay for a sister today to do that don't got it all together, because he can become, you know what I'm saying? He can become what he says he's going to become, as long as he has the vision and the drive. You want to get with him on that program, right? So my vision and drive came from metaphysics. At first, the wife wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't with it. She wanted the books in the house. You know, she was coming from Christianity as well. But eventually she got behind that program. And let me say this too. You know, brothers, you know, your wife or your lady don't always have to be on your level. Don't push her. One day I was kind of pushing my wife spiritually, and the spirit said, Yosef, your wife is like a delicate flower. Let her bloom. Let her bloom. Let her naturally bloom the way she needs to bloom. She don't have to be on your level.
Ashay.
You know what I'm saying? And it just changed my whole perspective. And the spirit told me, focus on the things you love about her outside of spirituality. And that's what's going to keep your relationship together. How much y'all make each other laugh? Can y'all be jokeful around each other? You know, can y'all trust each other? Which is what this topic is eventually going to be about today. Can y'all trust each other? You know, all those things that you love about each other. Those are the things that are going to make you stay together, not spirituality.
Yes.
That's something that just comes with it, and that you can hope that happens. So don't judge your lady, and lady don't judge your husband off of vice versa. Don't judge them off of spirituality, because I didn't have it all together. I was making minimum wage, working at a factory, sweeping floors, until I started learning things. Now, let me say this last thing before you move on. Don't think you always need to do a spell to get some money. Sometimes you gotta go read a book. You gotta go study. You know what I'm saying? A spell is cool when all else fails. You know, people be shocked because I don't do magic all the time. When all else fails, I pull out magic. Or if I want to try something, I want to experiment, I pull out some magic. But some people think a spell is like a quick fix, and that's not what it is all the time. You can use it, of course, but what happens when that energy of that spell run out? Now you're gonna need to do the same spell again. Study the books, read the book. I learned how to deal with money and invest from reading Robert Kiyosaki, Richest Man in Babylon. You know, all these financial books, and start understanding stocks and dividends and, you know, what these things are. You know what I mean? Compound interest. What do all these things mean? And then I started putting my little bit of money towards these things, and I saw stuff change. It didn't have nothing to do with no spell. I want to tell the men that who can't figure it out. And he's like, well, I just need a spell. No, you don't. You need to study and be patient, and you will grow. The man is two things. A man is a person who knows who he is, and he takes care of his responsibilities. You know what I mean? So make sure you focus on those things as you grow as well, brothers.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as a man, every man should have a goal or some kind of purpose driven in their life, because essentially, you know, you got to hit some kind of target, and that's what attracts the females, is you actually going for something and not taking your vision off the sight. A lot of times we just are going through this hypnotic rhythm, just not even worrying about who we're supposed to become as men. And essentially, you know what I'm saying, we lose ourselves, we lose who we truly are. So it's important for men to have a goal, have a purpose, something, because a female will get behind it. Now, your goal can't be, oh, I want to be a rapper. She gonna look at you like, oh, okay, well, this is the seventh dude I met that wants to be a rapper. So I don't know. Your goal got to be something tangible that she can, you know what I'm saying, smoke a bag of and say like, all right, bet, you know, I can rock with that. I can nurture that, right? Because that's what ultimately a female divine feminine energy wants to do. She wants to nurture your ideas. She wants to make it bloom, blossom. She wants to make it grow. She wants to help your mission. And I think that's an important aspect in masculine energy. You have to have a goal. And even if the goal is not the end all, the be all, right? Essentially, just by going and hitting that goal, and say you fail, you didn't really fail, you learned a lesson.
Right.
That lesson is going to move you thousands and thousands of miles away, because essentially you're growing into the man you're supposed to become. Every time you're learning these particular lessons. Hey, y'all know, how long we've been on YouTube? 8 years now? What is it? 8, 9 years?
Yeah. Something like that. Minute.
I learned so many lessons on this thing. Oh my gosh. So what? Not failures, lessons.
Big lesson.
Over and over again, you know what I'm saying? We get the rhythm, we understand, and then wow, here we are today.
Facts.
Go ahead, babe.
Well, I just wanted to say, anytime a person starts thinking about love and relationships, you are automatically thinking about accountability and responsibility, right? Because in order to healthily exist in a relationship, you're going to have self-accountability. So all the things that both of y'all were just talking about, having goals and going for it. Yosef, when you said, you know, studying, learning, not relying just on the magic, this is the personal accountability, right? Because when we're in a relationship, it's me and you, right? It's that one-to-one thing. And that accountability is what helps us to keep growing, evolving, and showing up and being who we need to be in the present moment. So the thoughts on the money and all of the things, it's necessary. You are going to need it, especially in this day and time, to really date the way that you want to date, right? To be able to choose the way that you want to choose. But ultimately, you have to have accountability and responsibility for yourself.
Absolutely,
So that's how I
absolutely.
see it.
And you know, a lot of that comes into these things we call survival wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So people are just you know, in this survival mode energy all the time. So, you know what I'm saying? Now you see this big wave of females moving into the space of, if you don't got the bag, don't talk to me.
Right.
And essentially that's that leading with the bad doesn't lead to love.
Mm-hmm. It don't.
This
And you know, I understand the concept of women wanting to be taken care of, because ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if a man love you, he's gonna take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
But I always tell women, you know what I'm saying, if you find a good man, you can't do this with every man, but if you find the right man and you do right by him, he gonna give you everything you want anyway.
Absolutely.
You don't gotta trick him. You don't gotta you know, do nothing to him. He's gonna naturally want you to do better because y'all love each other.
Right.
Y'all love each other. You don't have to. Now the one who you ain't supposed to be with, you gonna have to trick him. You gonna have to steal money from him. You gonna have to do those type of things. You know what I mean? You don't gotta do with the one you want, because a man who takes his responsibility. There's a scripture in the Bible that I agree with to this day. It says a man's wife is his glory.
That's
a
real.
man's wife is his glory, meaning that your woman make you look good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you married, it ain't about you. It's about how your wife and your kids look. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care about how I be looking every day. I make sure the wife nails done, hair done, baby girl hair done. I try to make sure they're done because that reflects on the type of man I am. You see what I'm saying? So that works in the world the same way. And vice versa. You know, if you want your husband to give you anything and praise you, like they call in the Bible the virtuous woman, you know, you have to be the right woman for him, and he has to be the right man for you. It doesn't work if y'all just together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have to be soulmates. You have to be the one. You know what I mean? And it will work perfectly once that happens. Because any man's gonna take care of his family. Any real man who loves his woman gonna take care of his family.
Absolutely.
Well,
I totally agree that. Oh, go ahead, babe.
Well, I was gonna say this one thing that I've been hearing a lot of recently right now from the Eastern culture is a man's wife is his wealth.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of Eastern, traditional, Chinese, Asian, you know, rhetoric that a man's wife is his wealth. The more joy, happiness, light, and free flowing she is, the more abundant his life is, right? So these are things to consider. So women, we have to ask ourselves, how do I embody wealth myself? How do I take care of myself? And so when Dream and I first got together, I was meditating, exercising, and just doing all of those things that made me feel good holistically. And that's what ends up being reflected. So men, one last thing, men have to create a safe space for women to do that.
Absolutely.
So it's a beautiful thing. So if you're going to date men, most importantly, make sure that you can be an emotional safe space, right? Because if you can do that, the abundance will flow.
And you know, and that's why the vast majority of wealthy men are married. The vast majority. Go ahead, Dream. I just want to say that the vast majority are married.
That's real, because I remember Bobby on the Love Tape said there's nothing more important than the goddess, his goddess. So, and then we see it in all our spiritual leaders, our spiritual teachers of the old, you know, Bobby and Linda, Panic and Khadijah, Aleem and Kadira, Phil Valentine and Dr. Nalali, right? Layla Africa and his queen. If we just follow the model, right, then essentially Master Gibson and his queen, right? You follow the model, we see that all the spiritual sages, all the wise men have a mate in their life, right? And they're creating this adventure, this reality together.
Even the gods got
oh yeah, the gods, all
you know
the
gods.
What I'm saying?
The gods and the goddesses. The goddesses, they got them a man. The goddesses in heaven. You know what I'm saying?
That's the whole.
They got them a man.
You gotta have.
They all got one.
Even
Kali. Even Kali Ma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The sister may say, I'm Kali Ma. Can't control me. Well, she got a man at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? She got a man. Even though she got a couple men, she went through some stuff. She got a couple jokers' heads on her neck. But eventually, when it's all said and done, he handled that thing. You know what I'm saying? She got her man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to throw that out there. And vice versa. All the men, they got them a lady. You know what I'm saying? They not players from the Himalayas on a divine level. They got them their wife. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is, fellas.
There's this trend going on with this red pill community and all these men, you know, doing this aspect or energy of this single life and just trying to be players for the rest of their life. And essentially they're robbing themselves of an adventure with their soulmate based off of their lust and urges. So they're stimulated from the lower 3 chakras or the root chakra primarily. And they feel like, you know what I'm saying, since their consciousness is in the root chakra.
I think y'all cut out for a second there. Dream and D-Ray. Let me see. I know Dream was talking and cut out. I think everybody can still hear me and see me.
I don't know what happens to his thing. Hopefully he comes back. Okay. I had to run off to grab one of the kids, done pulled down a plant.
Oh man, okay.
But that's okay. I'm still here. I don't know what, what we last talking about.
Dream was talking and then he froze. But I'll say this, y'all. I'll say this until he comes back. I definitely wouldn't be where I am today without my wife. And I had to realize that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have the money I have today. I wouldn't have the mindset I have today. I don't think I would fully even be in metaphysics. I think this is always part of my my plans. There we go, brother. This was always part of the divine plans to have my wife. And my friend John, I tell y'all this story all the time. He did my first reading ever. And he told me, he said, your power comes from your marriage. That's why I always feel like I got to protect it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people can go through, as teachers, we can go through things where we get the wrong partner. You know what I'm saying? And then that can cause issues. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when you find that one and then you start moving, even as a leader, you start moving, I think it's important to have that one by your side. You know what I'm saying? That one by your side. I remember when I first got into security field, this may not mean nothing to nobody, but I remember when I was home. I'm telling y'all, when y'all brothers can't tell me nothing, I went through it all. I've been married with no job before, sitting at home, trying to figure out my life. I've been through it all. You know what I'm saying? I had my lights cut off, like you name it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the point I'm trying to make people understand is that I was smart enough to realize I can't stay here. I got to evolve. You know what I mean? And I'll never forget, I did security until I stopped working. But my wife is the reason why I got in security. I was working at Netflix back when Netflix had the CDs. And all of a sudden, they just let me go one day. So I'm home trying to look for a job, figure things. And the wife did a resume for me. Did a resume and submitted my resume to this job. And I've been doing security ever since 2009, 2010. You know what I'm saying? And that started a whole career for me. And if she didn't put me in that position, I wouldn't be there. The power of the divine feminine. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always going to be grateful for that. So I know I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for my wife. Did Dream go back out?
That's powerful. Powerful, yo. That's powerful. I feel the same way about Dream, actually. I feel like through our relationship, I've just come to understand myself more at a way deeper level. And it has been through his reflection. And I think that's the way that it's supposed to be. I think our relationships is supposed to reveal us more and more and more to ourselves. Yes. Right? That divine reflection really shows you the sacredness of you and the parts of you that you've come here to evolve and raise up. So I want to talk about a question somebody put in the comments about reincarnation in relationships. I know that this is facts. I've been able to see multiple experiences from Dream and I. And I think if you're in a relationship and you are experiencing past life karma, you need to have a certain level of spiritual power and awareness to work through it from both sides. It is real. There is some hurt and some pain that can be caused in a past life within a relationship that is meant to be transmuted presently.
Right.
But if both people don't have the consciousness to do that, the relationship probably won't last. with that karma present. Right. So I think there has to be a willingness, and like I said earlier, accountability and responsibility to each other. What's your thoughts on past lives and reincarnation in relationships, Joseph?
I definitely believe in it. I know me and my wife was together in multiple past lives, and I think, and even in those past lives, one of the most powerful ones I remember, we both were hermaphrodites, and we lived in Atlantis. You know what I'm saying? We were 9 feet tall, and we were holding hands, walking down this humongous hallway. I don't know how I know this stuff. I just know I was a hermaphrodite. You know what I'm saying? And I was 9 feet tall. I was huge, and we were holding hands. And I was a teacher. And I remember I got a glimpse of the city. I remember as we were walking, I take a look to the right, and I looked out this window, and there were people of different ET races, little kids going down the slide, and we was somewhere in some type of facility. And I looked over at my wife, and I just knew this was the same woman I'm with in this life. It was the same person. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you can go through many lifetimes with your soulmate and find them, and you guys can work on your relationship as you grow. You could definitely do that. You want to say anything, Dream?
Absolutely. What were y'all talking about?
We were just talking about past lives, reincarnating. There was somebody in the comments talking about them having problems or issues in their relationship because past things keep showing up. And so, that's what we was diving in on.
Well, past lives is a difficult thing to elaborate on, but in this life, you feel me? I felt like I lived 1,000 lives already. When I was single, I used to go through this kind of how would you say? I would be in a fear state place to pick up chicks and stuff of that nature, because essentially that's why I took all them drugs, because essentially I was running from my true authentic self, because the trends and the aspect of being something you're not was more attractive to the females, if you will. You feel me? But what I grown to learn after I got off the drugs was, I had to just be myself and come as I am. Now it was tough because I was 10 years of drug addiction, drug abuse, and that's how I would get females. You feel me? Just based off of the bars, putting me in a particular state. Now I'm carrying myself in a particular manner, and that appearance found the particular female attracted to me. So once I got sober and cleaned out and, did my alchemical process, essentially I started challenging myself, right? And moving into the space of talking to females without any vices. And boy, was I getting shot down, baby. I'm talking about chaos in the blood, shot down, shotgun. Boom. I'm talking about, oh. But the beautiful thing is that it's a spiritual experience, because again, you get to see yourself and see what you tolerate and see, how you relate. So I tell the fellas all the time, like, you want to go through that process of being a gentleman of leisure and finding yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. I hit some out of the park, but essentially, that process of getting shut down, no, and getting rejected is going to change you and transform you for the better.
I say, man, I love your heart, brother. You got the heart of a child for sure, my brother. you just say it. He definitely got the heart of a child, man.
Hey, I'm just keeping it real, man. A lot of times people don't be honest. I know where we was taking them for. Remember 18, 18, you're not taking them to get high and stuff. You like, okay, maybe this is gonna make me feel a little bit more confident and stuff.
Right.
And sure enough, I did that for 10 years of my life, all the way up to like 28. And sure enough, I was doing my thing during that time. But once I got into myself and realized, oh, wait.
All you needed was some meditation.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's all you needed was some meditation.
And that's the key,
so
because
present.
Yeah, exactly. Because
so that you can feel into the situation and move accordingly. That's all you needed.
I started breathing more. I started flowing more. And can y'all hear me?
We can hear you. Your screen, we can still hear you though.
Let me turn the screen off before this thing. I'm dropping too much fire. This thing keep on shutting me out. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, so okay.
Who knows what's happening? We got fiber optic, which is supposed to be the best stuff, but hey.
It happens. It happens.
It be happening. So Yosef, the topic was supposed to be about trust, right? So how did you and your wife build trust? What did that process look like for y'all? It's been a process and a journey for Dream and I, but it takes work.
Let me, I'm gonna say these two things to get to that point. I want to say this really bad. I want people to understand this. The first thing is marriage is not about being in love. Marriage is a business. I want everybody to understand that. So when you're thinking about getting married, when you just look at marriage based on love, it's like, oh, I hope everything works out because we love each other. Marriage is a business. So when you approach marriage, approach it with the idea of getting with someone to build something. Right? I want to say that. So everybody understand why you want to get married. You should never want to get married just to be in love. You can be in love without marriage. I think we all know that. Yeah. You can be a boyfriend and girlfriend and love them dearly. You can love them dearly without being married to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing I want people to know. Marriage is about a business. It's not about being in love. You know what I'm saying? I forgot the other thing, but I'm gonna go into the question you asked is
marriage. Marriage is definitely a business. It is an opportunity for you to grow with somebody and have an experience where y'all meet in like-mindedness. You feel me? A lot of times we're putting, how will you say, we're missing the point of growing in the adventure and hitting a target or hitting a goal. So you came down here to have an adventure, family. You didn't come down here to be in this hypnotic rhythm of just dying till you're 75 or retiring at 75 and then hoping that they're going to give you your pension and all of this other stuff, right? Your 401ks and 403bs and all of this other stuff. No, you came down here to try and experience and, live life to the fullest with your mate, that where y'all can actually build a business together in the aspect of a union with each other, and then in the aspect of, starting some kind of business that will move the needle.
Absolutely. Before I say that, so I want to say something very important. I think this is very important for the conscious and spiritual community to understand. Because I do consultations every day around the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. Some of y'all might understand this, some of y'all might not. The conscious community has been infiltrated with demons. Okay, and I'm saying that as far as I'm just going to be honest, because some of you guys need to understand this when you start to dating people. Okay, so everybody in who they think who they appear to be. Just want to let y'all know, and that goes for men and women, right? And I'm talking about this as an astral traveler, not because I got an issue with somebody. I got no problem with nobody, right? So don't think this coming from a place where Brother Yosef got an issue with somebody. I don't got an issue with nobody. I'm telling you as an astral traveler what I know and what I see. And when I hear the stories, I'm like, yeah, that lines up with what I'm seeing in the astral plane. They don't want the spiritual community. They don't want you to be spiritual. They want it to fail. And right now there's being people who are being put at the top who they want you to think these people got it together spiritually, but they're just an example of entities being in the spiritual community that can be. I'm saying this because I want you guys to be careful when you're dating, right? When you're dating, because you can date the wrong person, head wrapping crystals, and then they the devil. Straight up, right? The sister got on head wrapping crystals, and she could be the devil. A brother got looking smooth, and he looking like he got it all together. He dressed like a hippie, crystals once again, and this guy could be he could be the devil in the flesh, right? So choose wisely, even in the spiritual community. Don't approach the spiritual community thinking that everybody in here got it all together, right? Some people in here are still learning and growing, right? And I want to say that so we don't approach each other in the community naive. Some of us got issues to work out. And the ones who are the demons are ones who won't live in their truth. They won't be honest with themselves. You know the secret to therapy. You know, this therapy is not doing nothing but it's getting you to admit what you're lying about to yourself.
I show you. That's a fact. That's a fact, Joseph. You right there.
You spending all this money to go to therapy, and I still recommend people go to therapy, but it's just trying to get you to admit to something that you won't admit to nobody else. That's and you know it's the truth already. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I want y'all to understand this. Marriage is a business. Don't approach it for love. You're looking for somebody to build something with. And also, as you grow and find people, don't treat just like the church. Back in the day, the demons was in the church. So you may go to the church thinking you're going to find the love of your life in the church. And the church had the demons in it too. A lot of bad relationships that was in the church. Now them demons done moved over to the spiritual community because that's the new wave. The spiritual community, right? So once again, I have no issue with nobody within the spiritual community. I'm just saying what I know as an actual traveler. Now, with all that being said, like Sister D-Ray asked me about trust and how did I build trust in my relationship. That's the most important part. I want to say this first. Before you get to the marriage and you talk about loving somebody, the trust has to be there. If there ain't no trust, it ain't no relationship. You wasting your time. If you don't trust the person, I don't care how much you think you love them. You cannot truly love them the way you want to if you don't trust them. You're in there because you think and you're hoping that something's going to work out between y'all. One day to figure out because you're in love, right? But love can hurt. Love can make you kill somebody, right? Love can make you injure yourself. So don't just base it off of love because you're living off a hope and a dream when you do that. Look at the red flags, right? At the end of the day, trust is the most important. Now, how did I, now one thing I'm grateful for, I got really lucky and blessed in my marriage because I didn't have this mindset approaching marriage. It was really about love, right? But at the end of the day, I had to learn these things. So me and my wife, we met in church. I knew her all my life. I knew her since she was a baby. I was a baby. We grew up holding hands in the Christmas program. I remember the little kids used to go to the Christmas program, hold hands, walk down the aisle. Everybody, oh, look at this, and taking pictures. We used to hold hands and walk down the Christmas aisle, for Christmas program. 6, 7, 8 years old. So, of course, we didn't know we was going to get married when we got her. But the point I'm trying to make is this. We was both raised on certain principles and morals, right? So it wasn't hard to trust her based on the way we was raised. You know what I'm saying? And when we first got married, we were still in church. You see what I'm saying? We were still in church. So we already had a mindset of what we need to be doing. And I'm grateful for that. We had marriage counseling before we got married. That's something my church believed in. So my pastor as a man set me down and let me know this is what's required of you as a man in this church. This is what you're going to do. And I don't want your wife coming to me complaining about this because this is what got to be done. I had to respect it. That's the OG. I looked at him like a grandfather, and he didn't have to say nothing else to me. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple life lessons for that, but the whole point is that we trust each other from the beginning. Now, I didn't break that trust, and I'm grateful I didn't because brothers, and I got to jump on our case for this because we're the ones that do it a lot. Brothers cheat, and then we just expect the woman to just let it go. You know what I'm saying? And the sister's like, I'm not letting that go. You know what I'm saying? I love you, but I don't want to let it go. And you can't just expect her to let it go when you done messed up so many times, brother. Stop messing up. That's a fact. Learn how to have self-control and stop giving her a reason to not trust you. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I'll say this last thing so y'all could talk. Sisters, when you find a good guy and you've been cheated on before, give that man a chance. Don't just assume because of what you went through in the past, he's going to do the same thing. Even though sometimes we attract what we think. And that could be one reason why certain women keep picking cheaters because you are attracting something you hate. You know what I'm saying? But you think about these type of things. That's why we need to go through a healing process and change our minds and change our hearts and then approach dating again. But you're going to have to give these brothers a chance or they just going to leave because they're not going to want to deal with you blaming them for something they didn't do. So trust, if y'all walk away anything else from this thing, remember trust is the most important part of the relationship. If you don't trust a person, you cannot build. There's no foundation.
That's good, Yosef. That's power. And I think one of the biggest aspects that I had to learn, especially in my walk, was trust. Because essentially, you know what I'm saying, when I was a drug addict and in this kind of drug escapade, I was running around doing my thing, cheating, not really worried about the relationship, not really worried about the partner per se. And you know what I'm saying, I caught myself in a whirlwind of females, and I used to have a lot of problems. Like it's a headache dealing with, you know what I'm saying, infidelity and cheating and all this other stuff. So then when I get out of that particular comatose state that I'm in, I fall into self-love, self-healing, and doing the work for myself. And boom, D-Ray comes. So now I have to fall back and understand, okay, this is somebody that I love. This is somebody that, you know what I'm saying, we're building a relationship with and everything like that. Throughout all these different situations I've seen as a single man, how do I fall completely unadulterated trust with this person? And, you know, the intuition and fear is two different sides of the coin, right? You know, people will think that it's intuition. Oh, she's doing something. What is she? Why is she on her phone? You know what I'm saying? That fear-based mentality thing. But essentially, you just haven't healed yet. You got to heal, family brothers out there that, you know, been through the particular predicament that puts you in a state of fear of never trusting a female. And then social media doesn't do it any justice. I mean, god dang. And then what was that show we used to watch? Maury, You Are Not the Father. What was the other shows? Jerry Springer. Man, that program does good, huh, Yosef?
Yeah, and that's what it comes down. That's why we don't trust each other right now.
Right.
We don't trust. The women don't trust the men don't trust the women. And then the young people got the nerve to say times have changed. No, women biologically still desire men, and men biologically still desire women. Nothing's changed. It is that our minds have changed.
Yeah.
It's like Kara's one said, we didn't lose our land, we lost our mind.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't lose the way of how to be married, how to be in marriages. We lost our mind.
Yeah.
You know, this is why morals and principles can help you get these things back. But they push that stuff away and they give you the Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah,
You know
exactly. So now at this event, we're not trying to put nobody in no.
You went out again.
Stuff went out again. Right when you was about to start, right when you was about to start dropping all of those facts.
It went out.
It went out. Listen, there's a lot of rhetoric in the chat right now about submission. What's your thoughts on submission?
If the man is a real man, he taking care of his responsibility, he taking care of what he's supposed to do. That go not only will a woman do what you need her to do, not only for a woman will a man give you what you want, but in vice versa, a woman will naturally submit. A good woman, like I said, you got to pick a good man that's going to take care of you. But in vice versa, a good woman who sees a real man doing what he's supposed to be doing, she will naturally submit. I never have to tell my wife, you need to submit to me. And guess what? My wife made more money than me for years, y'all. For years, she's never disrespected me. That's what I'm saying. But some women will go in disrespecting a man until he becomes that. You can't go in if you see his vision. Get behind his vision and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is submission will naturally happen for good men that has a good woman. I ain't gonna say it's gonna happen for everybody because some people have traumas. So if you want a woman to submit to you, be a real man and don't just give your energy to any woman. Give it to a woman that deserves it. You know what I'm saying? And the vice versa, sisters, you want a man that's going to take care of you, and nothing wrong with that. A man should be taking care of his woman, right? But at the end of the day, you want him to make sure he's a good man, not just any man that's going to do that. And that's what you got to understand.
I will also say that men do submit. I know that sounds crazy, right? And I know there's but there's a submission is not a bad thing. That was also a program as well, to think submission meant to be less than or to be beneath. But when it comes back to this trust thing and the vision, both partners have to submit to the vision. Right? So like if a man and a woman, if they have a common goal, a man can't go above that goal, or a man cannot disregard his wife, right? He has to consider his wife. That is also a form of submission, right? So I think submission is one of those things that gets misconstrued.
I agree. And you know what? Yes, a man can't submit. Now, if you think about that that's true what she's saying, a man can't submit. If you think about that from a basic level, then you're only going to say, oh, you bow down to a woman. You don't know, you don't understand. To be in a successful marriage, you got to understand each other's strengths and weaknesses, right? My wife she understands the finances. I don't know how to pay a bill in my house. I don't know how to pay bills. I give the money to pay a bill, but my wife handles all that stuff. So I submit to her by giving her the money. You know what I'm saying? Some men said, I ain't give my wife no money. Well, you a fool, in my opinion, because you should be, not only do I give my wife money, but I give her money to invest for herself, right? So the only point I'm trying to make is this. Everybody submits. When you trust your wife to feed you food, you're submitting. You're submitting. Because she could poison you and kill you. But you're trusting her enough to submit and let her cook. You know what I'm saying? and she's cooking you a good meal and you didn't die. You know what I'm saying? You didn't die. So my wife, the kitchen is her world. I stay out of the way. I submit on that level because I want to eat at the end of the night. You understand? So the kitchen is her space. And sometimes I come in, I put a cup on, stop putting that cup. You got to stop putting the cup on the sink. All us men do it. You know what I'm saying? We would leave the cups on the sink, leave the cup. We just don't be thinking, you know? And so the kitchen is her space. That's what she nurtures. I'm not going to get in the way of that. I'm not going to come in. I'm the man. You going to submit to what I... No, that's dumb. Everybody submits to a certain level. Now, some people talking about as far as leadership. Yes, a man is meant to lead, but a woman, it can lead on certain things. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? My wife respects me enough where if I need to take my family in a certain direction, she respects me enough to let me take my family that direction. I don't have to argue with her because I've shown her what type of man I am. This is all I'm saying for the men. You just got to be married long enough to understand that. You can't be the boss of everything in the house. It ain't going to work like that. You need to give your wife the food and she's going to make a meal. You need to buy your wife a house. She'll make it a home. You see what I'm saying? And when she's making it a home, get out of her way. Get out of her way. There's roles in a relationship and there's roles in a marriage. I teach this in my tribe all the time. You got to have roles. If you just approach it, say, we in love and we going to figure it out, it ain't going to work. You have to have roles to make it work. And
bring Dream back on the stage, Yosef.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So no, you're so right. And that's leadership, absolutely. That masculine energy is necessary with that leadership because we need structure in order to accomplish goals. And when women are in our feminine, we flow, right? Ain't no, we got to be this, and this. So the masculine sets the container for us as the feminine to move through. But absolutely, the man has to submit to the ultimate vision of the family. Right? And that means moving with integrity, holding himself accountable, respecting his wife, loving his wife, doing all of those things that we know are supposed to happen. I think it's a beautiful thing when we submit to each other. Another way that we talk about submission is through worship of one another, right? Like the way that we love each other is a form of worship. And that worship increases us spiritually on our soul level. It raises us up because we're remembering our sacredness. So these are the things that relationships require. And these are the things that we don't hear talked about enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And let me just say this real quick before you go, Dream. And we're just talking about this from a spiritual perspective, y'all. Now, if you went to a Muslim church, they're going to have a whole nother perspective. And that's cool. This ain't no Muslim church, though. You went to a Christian church, they're going to have a whole nother perspective. We just telling y'all as people who've been practicing spirituality for years, we have children. We're with our mate for a long time, right? I've been with my wife for over 20 years. We're telling you spiritually, if you want to be spirit, this is what it is. Now, if you coming in here with a Hebrew Israelite perspective or a Muslim or Christian, yes, we not making sense to you, and that's fine. I'm not here to prove everybody right. I'm just telling you, if you want to be spiritual, I've been doing this for a long time. You want to make it work spiritually, this is the things you need to understand. Look at how the gods treat their goddesses. You know what I'm saying? When Sekhmet was so powerful, she was a killing machine. Her man had to come, he had to be in his nurturing state.
Yeah.
He had to be in his, Ptah had to get in his nurturing state and calm his woman down.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
He had to come calm his woman down. You know what I mean? Yep. So, and vice versa. When Oshun, when Ogun was out in the, and he didn't want to come back to society, they had to send a woman to make him submit.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Oshun had to go get him out the forest. Come on out here.
Yep.
You know, the society needs you. Oshun had to go get him and make him submit.
It's the same Lion King story.
Goddesses. So yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no, it's the same Lion King story, right? Simba had to come back. Who came and got Simba? Nyla. Nyla came and got Simba, and he had to go face Scar in order to be the ruler over the Pride Land and rule over the kingdom.
Right.
So we must understand that this is just law, family. It's spiritual law, and is not something personal. We're saying you can't even soften your particular female if she doesn't trust your leadership as a man.
That's a fact.
So men must come into the space of finding themselves and understanding that there's bigger fish to fry down here than being lost and oblivious. You have to have a goal. You have to have some kind of purpose driven so that your female can fall into her soft life energy and nurture your vision desire.
Indeed. That's right. That's right. And that's how it works. So we need the divine masculine and we need the divine feminine. Mm-hmm. And they're balancing in. When you look at the Gnostic text, Sophia created her other half because she wanted to see somebody to tell her she was beautiful, to make it simple. Mm-hmm. She created her divine feminine, divine masculine, just so somebody could tell her she was beautiful. She could tell her to herself, but she wanted a reflection to tell her. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's what it is. And I'm gonna say the last thing, in Egypt, your mama gave you the power to sit on the throne. But even though your mama gave you that power, she let you be the leader. She let you run the country. Mm-hmm. But it was always she was always venerated because she gave you the power to run the country. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So this is not about egotistical man versus woman. That's anybody in here talking about man versus woman and you're fighting about that, you're an agent.
Yes, Ashe. Come on, Yosef, tell them straight up. That's
a
fact.
I'm an astro traveler. When I say there's demons, I know for a fact of what I'm saying. I know there's agents to spread. Anybody coming in and talk about separation is always an agent.
Yes.
Right.
Especially in the melanated community. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just had to kick somebody out here because they talking about any man that submit. Cool, fine. I'm not mad about it, but you in the wrong place talking that because you're talking separation. We're talking, we're making sense of this thing. And you talking about people who've been together for a long time and making it work with a family. Mm-hmm. It ain't just nobody giving no information. I see a lot of that on YouTube. People who single just out here giving information. We talking about people with families who have children, who's been together and married for a long time. We telling y'all how this thing can work.
Exactly. You know what's the guy's name? What's the guy's name that be trying to give out all this information and she don't have a man to save her life? What's the main one? She just dressed up.
I know you're talking about. I can't stand her either, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. What's her name?
Dang. Man, what's her name?
I can't think her name.
Chantel or something like that. She was on
Dr. Bryant.
Dr. Bryant. Yep.
Dr. Bryant.
I can't stand that lady.
You can't stand her.
She can't be out here single trying to give people advice. And she can't even hold the man. She can't even.
I'm not saying she's wrong about everything. It's just like, how you gonna say that? You ain't got nobody.
Yeah, exactly. That's like having a kid. That's like exactly. You know that's like not having kids and telling us how to parent.
Right. We talking about oral traditions here, passing it down to your children, to your nieces and nephews, to your grandchildren, to people in your family from experience. Oral tradition.
Thanks.
If you ain't got no experience in that, how you gonna tell me about my children or about my, you know what I'm saying? I don't think she even got children.
Exactly.
She telling people about the kids and wife. And I'm like, this is what I mean by agents.
Exactly. You're right, yo. So that's you right. God. And look, we're not here to bash anybody or anything of that nature.
Right. I'm not a woman hater. I'm not a woman hater. I love my woman. I think everybody know that about me. But I also see, I'll be sitting back in our process. I'm like, why people listen to her?
Right.
It's almost like listening about Christianity from a person that never been a Christian. Now that makes sense. Like, why would you listen to a person who's talking Christianity? They ain't never been a Christian. This lady is not married and she don't have no children. How she even dare talk about family? But because she's popular, they programmed our mind to believe this stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion on it. You know.
No, that's good, yo. You dropping on that. That's power because
I want to see love, brother. I want to see love. I want to see people come back together. I'm passionate about this thing because I know what it could. I've been to the bottom of the relationship and I've been to the top. Only thing Brother Yosef never went through is cheating. You're right, and I'm grateful I never went through that. But I've been no money, no finances. Me and my wife looking at each other, the lights off in the house, to the point where I'm good now. The whole point is that I know a formula.
Right.
And I want to just tell people there's a formula to this thing, and it's oral tradition. This ain't something you can, you know what I'm saying? And people can give you the game on it, depending on what class you stand in. If you're a Christian, there's people for that. If you're a Muslim, there's people for that, based on your morals and character. And if you're in a spiritual community, I'm telling you, we've been together, and I know this couple right here, D-Ray and Dream. I know them. They good people, they solid people, and they run a good family. Right. I'm telling y'all can learn. So if y'all want to come on out to the event, come on out and get some oral tradition.
Absolutely. Come out and get some gems, get some real gems from people that have done it, the experience. Remember, it's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. The understanding is the experience. Understanding is you've been through something. The understanding is the battle scars that you went through and you came out on the top with the knowing. The knowledge is to know the ledge you're jumping off of when you did fall into this 10-year relationship, 10-year marriage.
Right. Facts. So, absolutely. You know, so we just want y'all to know. And remember, the foundation of the thing is trust, y'all.
I can't wait till we do this again, yo. So we're going to do this again. Hey, look, family, New Love Life event, February 14th. Pull up, Shrine of the Black Madonna. Listen, you got to get your tickets before they sell out. Because they're going fast. We're not placing nobody in no love relationship or anything like that. This is a networking, powerful event for the family to meet like-minded individuals and build with relationship dynamics. And we're going to have a lot of games. We're going to have a lot of fun. And y'all know how I do. Woo-wee. Y'all know how I pull up if you want to. You're going to meet somebody. And look, I'm actually going against exchanging numbers. I want y'all to exchange Instagrams. Because essentially, you know what I'm saying? I want you to work into the friendship process. I want you to build and see like it, because your Instagram will tell you a lot about yourself now. What? Man. Instagram got a whole story on females.
That's a powerful thing you brought up, brother. We have to make that the next topic.
Recording.
Recording totally out the window these days. The people jump right into the bedroom. How you doing? Good to meet you there. Right to the bedroom.
We got all the facts now. We got all the Insta facts, the car facts. What? Yes. With that Instagram page, you find you talking to a female, you find another Instagram. You like, wait a minute. You got two different Instagrams. This is the family Instagram, and then you got this whole demon Instagram over here. Oh, it's going down. Right. Hey, I'm telling you, you better watch out. They have a whole side Instagram for their OnlyFans.
Right. And some of you brothers may like that, but hey, you've been warned. You've been warned. You know.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're excited about the event, and yeah, man, we'll see y'all again soon, family.
Peace and love. Thank y'all for being here. Peace and love. We will see y'all in the next one. We might be doing these every week, y'all. Either way, we will let y'all know. All right.
Figure out this camera, man. Guys.
We love y'all. Thank y'all for coming on. Until next time. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.